Hello, good evening. My name is Boris Sapozhnikov and I'm a mortgage professional. And in today's webinar, we will speak about credit score, credit history, and how to deal with debts. All information is made available to you, and I cannot and don't guarantee the applicability or accuracy regarding your individual circumstances. All examples are for illustrative purposes, and I encourage you to seek personalized advice. So if you have a personal questions, you can call or email and get your free initial consultation. But my phone number is here and also an email address. If you have any questions, please, like during this seminar, please feel free to text your messages on this YouTube channel, or at the end of the presentation, you can comment your questions and I will be more than happy to help and answer on all questions. So, credit history and score. What credit score do you start with in Canada? So, in Canada, you start off with no score at all, not even zero. So, just no score. Your credit history begins when you open your first credit card. It's usually when you turn 18 or 19 years old. It depends by provincial regulations. And it will take about 6 months for the major credit bureaus to gather enough data to calculate your initial score. So where can you get your credit scores? We have two major credit bureaus, TransUnion and Equifax. Both of them obligated to give you one free credit report per year upon request. So just call TransUnion and call Equifax and they will mail you your credit report. It will be detailed report. So if you don't want to wait in mail, you can easily get the same report through Borrow or Credit Karma. Borrow works with Equifax, so report will be similar to Equifax report, and Credit Karma works with TransUnion, so report will be similar to TransUnion. Why I say similar, but because what Borrow trying to do and also Credit Karma trying to do, they're trying to present reports in more readable way, so it will be much more easier to customer to understand or everything in the report. Also, Borrow and Credit Karma will show your scores. It will be exactly the same scores that you can get through TransUnion or Equifax. Now, people usually say, so why do we need two credit bureaus? So it's historically we have two credit bureaus and this is how everything works. And it's good that we have two bureaus in here in Canada, because if you apply to one lender, maybe one lender giving priority to Equifax, another giving to TransUnion, or another lender can compare between Equifax and TransUnion. So it's good to check both bureaus, and it's also good to have options. For example, if your TransUnion score is higher, so it's preferable to look for lenders who works with TransUnion, and opposite, if your Equifax score higher, look for lenders who works more with Equifax. Also, some lenders have their internal score. So how is this score built? 35% from the credit score is your payment history. It's basically how you do your payment. 30% is the credit utilization. It's amount that you owe it, depends by what is allowed amount. How can I explain this? For example, you want to borrow certain amount of money, and let's say your maximum amount is 1,000. So if you borrowed all your 1,000, so your credit utilization 100%. But if you borrowed from allowed amount from the $1,000 just $300, so your credit utilization 30%. So try to remember this number 30%, because if your credit utilization 30% and lower, your score will be good and will grow up. If your credit utilization will go up from 30% to 50%, it probably will still grow, but much more slower, or will not grow at all, or maybe even go down. From 50% of utilization and up, your credit score definitely will go down. So if you have a credit card, you need to know what is your maximum and know how to utilize this credit card. Credit length or history. What do I mean by credit length or history? It's how long you have credit card, or how long you have loan, or how long you have mortgage. If you have a credit card that you are using like just for a year, so probably your credit score and history will not be too good. But if it's already like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it will definitely add more point to your credit score, so your credit history will be much higher. Credit mix. It's what you're borrowing. If you're using just a credit cards, so you don't have a credit mix because you're using just credit cards. But if you have a line of credit and credit card, line of credit is different from the credit card, so you have a mix. So you will get additional points for having a mix. And hard inquiries. Hard inquiries, it's when you apply for loan, for mortgage, for credit card, for anything that related to money. Even when you apply for cell phone, just to, like for example, you go to Telos, Rogers, doesn't matter what cell phone company, and you apply to have their a cell phone. So the cell phone cost money, usually a lot of money, usually around like $1,000, maybe even more. So because it's expensive, they should check your credit history, so they will do hard inquiry. Also, mortgage brokers doing hard inquiries. Also, any bank where you apply for mortgage doing hard inquiries. When you personally checking your score, it's not count as a hard inquiry, so it will not hurt your score. So you can check your score as many times as you want through Equifax or TransUnion, or through Barol or Credit Karma or any other provider. It doesn't matter what provider you will use. If you just checking your score and reading your history, it will not hurt your score. It doesn't call hard inquiries. Next, strategies to manage credit hygiene and stay financially healthy. So, it's some advices that based on experience and that you may or should do if you want that your credit history will be good, and your score will go up and up. Like many people usually ask me the same question: do I need to check my credit score like every day, every week, once a month? What should I do? So if you not applying to borrow anything sooner, so I will say you don't really need to check your credit score every week. If you just live your regular life, you have a routine, you don't need to borrow money, so you don't really need to worry about the score. So just make sure that you're doing all your payments on time, and you may check your score like once a month or once even in 3 months. But if you planning to borrow money, or you're thinking that you may need to borrow money, I will say you need to check your history and score weekly. So what several advices that I can provide here. So first, so what is the advices here? So first advice, never exceed credit limits. So never exceed credit limits. It means if your credit card allow you to borrow $1,000, so you never should exceed $1,000. Accept all offers of increased limits and try to avoid using the extra credit. If, for example, you got a call from the bank or you spoke to the bank teller and he said or she said you that we have some promotion for you and do you want to open credit line or anything like this, accept it. Why I say accept? Because just open credit line or increasing your credit limits, it will not affect anything. It will not affect your borrowing limits if it's just open and you never using this. But if you accepted this offer, make sure that you still follow rules and you not go over the new limit. For example, your credit card was $1,000, now it's increased to $2,000. You should never approach $2,000 limit. Next, if you must carry credit balances, try to spread them around. If you have several balances, like if you have several credit cards, try to divide your balance in between these credit cards. Try not to leave one card with like several $1,000 and another card just with $100 or $10. Try to spread it evenly. It will help your credit score go up. Next, use all credit cards and lines of credit. If you have any credit card and you maybe not really like this credit card and you're not really using this, you must start to use it. Why? Because if you stop to use any of your cards or line of credit, it means that you don't really need this credit limit and it's not good and it can be cancelled. If it will be cancelled, automatically your credit utilization will go down, and as a result that your credit utilization go down, you will not be able to use it. So use even old card. Don't cancel old credit cards. If you want to close the card to avoid an annual fee, you can call to the bank and ask that this card will be downgraded, so it will be the similar card but kind of like free card. For example, you had a MasterCard with Bank X. You call to the Bank X and said, okay, I have a credit card, $5,000 credit limit in this card. I almost never using this. Can you remove an annual fee because I just want it used just in case? And continue to use this card just to keep your history going. Because if you will cancel this credit card and you will take new card, like your old history, and if it's a good history, will be cancelled. Opposite, I can suggest for people who has a problem. Like for example, you borrowed something with a credit card and you had a bad debts there, and you went over the limit. So this specific credit card has a bad history, not good history, bad history. You want to apply for a mortgage. What should you do? If you can, pay out this credit card, cancel it, and take a new card. And make sure that new card you're doing good. What I mean by doing good with new card, if a limit is $1,000, you keep utilization only 30%. It means that you're using only $300 from this $1,000, maximum $500 or 50% from this $1,000. Okay, and this will help you to move forward and create better history. Again, if your old credit card has a bad history, you must cancel it, take a new card. If your old credit card has had a good history, keep it as long as you can. If you have any questions, you can type them. We have YouTube chat here, so you can go in the chat and type your questions. I will do a small break soon, and I will read this question and I will be happy to answer on all these questions. Okay. So if you have a credit card and you can pay twice a month, it's better. Like I hear it a lot, like I was watching many different YouTubes videos from different financial gurus and they said, oh no worries with credit card in order to increase your score. Don't worry, pay just your minimum and you will be fine. If your minimum $100, pay 100. If your minimum $600, pay 600. If your minimum $10, pay just $10. Pay just your minimum and you will be fine. No, sorry, you will not be fine. What you need to do or what is a good behavior or smart hygiene when you're using credit card. So you got your new credit card and you first of all check what is the maximum. If let's say maximum $5,000, so your maximum utilization is 2,500, 50%. Now, from $5,000, 30% is just $1,500. So, you start to use this card, make sure that you're using only first $1,500, and if you need, you go up to $2,500. So from 30% to 50%. If you can, try to pay some of this balance twice during the month. Okay, one, let's say in the middle, and one when you need to pay. The best scenario, a day before when you should pay your balance. Okay, let's say you get a statement say September 15, so you should pay on September 14. Why I always say a day before? Because I saw a lot like payment late. So you pay on September 15, but it's posted on September 16 because or credit card just got it, or company that issued the credit card it's got it next day, even with the same bank. And what is mean kind of late payment. It's not really late payment, but it's 1 day late payment. It still can negatively affect your score. So in order to avoid this, 1 day before and you will be fine. Also be careful with the weekends. Let's say you should pay card on Monday, day before it's Sunday, it may not go through. It's better to pay on Friday because it may not go through because of weekend. The same with long weekend, exactly like it was recently. We had holidays, so Monday banks were closed. So if you paid on Friday, you fine. But if you paid Saturday or Sunday or even Monday and you expect it to be paid on Tuesday, you may be in trouble because they may only on Tuesday processes and it can be posted on Wednesday. So if it's no holidays, regular work day, just day before. If it's some kind of holidays, several days before the day, work day that before holidays start. Okay? If you have a questions, again, you can ask me and I can explain or add more examples. Next, pay disputed items. Okay, this is very difficult question. Sometimes people say me, okay, but I shouldn't pay. Like somebody took some equipment and returned this equipment. I like to do, like I usually use as an example where we can borrow equipment from internet company. Okay, so let's say internet company provided us some equipment. We use it several years. We change internet company, so we need to return equipment. We return equipment, but from some reason somebody not market that we return equipment, and we got a letter, sorry, you didn't return equipment, now pay $500, let's say. If you can dispute it right away, and if you can prove them right away with a receipt, with a post check or whatever, that this item was sent to them, so your part completed, and they said, oh, okay, we are fine, so it's no problem. But if they say, no, we want $500, this is, you must to pay, I will say, they can hurt you. Like, how can they hurt you? They can hurt your credit history, they can hurt your credit score by just sending this to collector. And today we will speak about collectors. So they can send this to collector, and after it will be sent to the collector report to the credit bureau, and your credit history and score will be ruined. Like, it will be hard, and like I can say almost definitely you probably will not be able to get a mortgage. Like, I mean, like normal or regular mortgage from most of the lenders. You maybe will be able to get private mortgage, but it's a different story. Okay, so my suggestion, if you need to dispute something, please don't refuse to pay, start investigation process, fight for your money, get your money back. It may take months, years until you will get your money back, but at least your history will not hurt, and you will be still eligible to whatever you need. I saw people that will need to borrow money by very high percent just because they had dispute with $40 that they didn't pay to doctor or to dentist or somewhere else. Okay, so if even for ticket, like city ticket, okay, somebody got a city ticket, it was go to one bureau, another bureau, until eventually it went through the collection. If you believe that you want to fight for the ticket, fight right away. Don't wait and pay your ticket. Because if you're not paying it on time, it just goes straight through collection report to the bureau, and they don't care that they ruin everything for you. Okay? Okay, as I said before, credit you don't use becomes credit you don't have. So if you have all credit cards, continue to use them. If you see on your reports any errors, you need to clean all errors. How? You go on website of TransUnion, you go on website of Equifax, you can fill out forms. If anybody needs help with this, just email me. I will send you a link where you fill out this report. And when you fill out the report, it may take several days, it may take several weeks, sometimes even several months. And they do investigation, and eventually all errors will be cleaned. How frequently errors can appear on your history? It can be very frequent, especially if you have a common name. Unfortunately, many lenders, many stores, they don't really care. Some, for example, Smith John, a popular name in Canada, like some kind of Smith John will come to the store and said, oh, he wants to apply for credit card. They will apply, and they put it on your credit history because it's also Smith John, and another Smith John will use this credit card not really good way. So this credit card start to hurt your score, not his score, because somebody not checked a SIN number. If you paid attention in the stores, when they open your like credit card in the store, they never ask you for SIN. So if they ask just for your name and address, sometimes it can go, it can mix, it can go mess. It can like even street names. Sometimes it's the same street name, just for example, this street with a drive, or this the same name street with a street, or the same name of the street with avenue, and it can go mix up, and different people will appear with their credit history on your report. You should check it regularly and clean if you have these problems there. Again, if you need help, email me. We'll be happy to help. Several credit myths. So if you ask for your credit score hard, no. If you check in your credit score with TransUnion or Equifax, or do this through Bureau or TransUnion, or you do it through your bank, you can do it as many times as you want, even several times a day. It's not hard to credit score. Closing credit cards helps improve credit health. No, it's a myth. But I will say it's myth in most of the cases. So if you have a good credit card and you just closing this credit card, what I mean by good credit card, you use the credit card normal way, you never go over limit, pay on time. By closing this credit card, it will not help anything. Eventually, it can even hurt your credit score because your utilization will go down, so your score almost definitely will go down. I saw this in many examples. A really good and smart individual was saying, "Oh, I was watching YouTube video, one financial guru from United States who has thousands, if not millions, people who is watching him every day say, I need to cut my credit card." By cutting your credit card, you're also cutting your credit score. When it can work, if you have a credit card, I will say bad credit card. What I mean by bad credit card, you was using this credit card not appropriately. So you was going over the limits, you was always utilized it's too much. If you cut this type of credit card and you instead you take another one, like immediately another one, and you use it properly, yes, it will improve your credit score. So cancel and immediately you need to get another one. This can be fine. So signing. Okay. If you sign any money like that were lended through mortgages or through car lending, it will affect your credit. How it will affect? If person who was supposed to pay stop payments or late with payments, it immediately affect your score. No, of course, his score as well, but your score as well. So if you signing, your score go up and down exactly how another person behave. Higher pay brings higher scores. No. If you make $10,000 a month or you make $500 a month, it doesn't matter. Okay? So it's not, it's how you use this money. This is what matters. So how much you make, it doesn't matter. So if some people say, oh, he is rich, he makes thousands and thousands, this is why his score is up. No. I saw examples of absolutely regular people who work minimum paid jobs and they have credit scores close to 800, 900. And how they do this? It's very easy. They just follow the rules that I spoke before. Paying the minimum keeps my score up. It's very popular myth. Okay, a lot of YouTube videos says do only your minimum payment on your credit cards and you will be fine. Your score will go up. No, it will not go up. It will go down. Divorce takes away the former supposed bad credit habits. Unfortunately, no. When you live together with somebody, his financials and your financials usually connected. So when you divorce, it's not immediately disconnected. So you need step by step to divide all your accounts, all things that you brought together, like maybe loan on the car, maybe loan on the home, maybe a loan here, a loan there. A lot of things we are doing together and we even not pay attention. If we are going through divorce, you need to carefully look on your finances, and exactly like you divorce, you need to divide all your financial, and it will not go through one day. It may take months before credit bureaus will understand that, okay, these two people separate. All credit reports are the same. as I said before, it's a myth. Credit reports different, borrower different, Equifax different. Credit reports that see mortgage professional different from what see a lender of the car, and it's most scenarios, or in 99.999% scenarios, it's different from what see customer. Why is the report different? Because mortgage brokers and customers, they have different needs. Customer just want to know what is his history. Broker wants to know not just when this payment was done, if it was late, for how long it was late, because it depends by lender. Some lenders can say, okay, it was late just for a couple of days, but some lenders say, no, I need perfect history. Even if score is close to 800, they may say, no, it doesn't matter for me if the score is 800. I see on his history some late payments. I don't want to work with this client. So everything matters, even if score is relatively high. Okay, so it's time for questions and answers. I'm going to check if there are any questions. I will give maybe a minute. Okay, if anybody want to add any questions, you still can add your questions. I will go forward to the second part of our webinar. You can add your questions here in the chat. If not, again, you can email me your questions. If not, you can give me a call and ask your questions, or just comment under the video. Video will be published. Okay, so you will have access to this video later, and you can write down under the video in the comments any questions, and I will be happy to answer these questions. Okay, so because I don't really see any questions at this moment, everything looks clear, so I go to the next step. Okay, how to deal with debt collection agencies. So it's usually very, I will say it, difficult process to deal with debt collection agencies, but it's not something that too hard to do, and every person can do it by himself. But if you really need help with this, I will be more than happy to help. Okay, so here on this presentation, I want to present how you should deal with debt collection agencies, and you can do it on your own. Okay, so first step, you should get credit reports from TransUnion and Equifax and look and verify if you have any collections. Okay, so you just read your TransUnion report, you read your Equifax report, you look on the collection section. If it's no collections there, so you don't have any collection. If somebody called you and say, oh, I put collection on you, and it's not appear there, so they may not started any process, and you still have a time before they put collection. And if you understand and realize that you late with some payment and it's still not on bureaus, if you can reach the original lender where you got money and you can pay them, it will be optimal. Okay, so before you start to deal with the collector, if you can reach the person or lender or any organization where you borrowed money, try to do this and don't pay to collector. Okay, don't pay anything to collector. Reach the person that you borrowed money, pay full amount, everything that you need to pay, and after this, receive a receipt and email or mail a copy of this receipt to the collector and show them, okay, I actually paid this, so please remove any process, and they will stop it and will remove it. So if you still have a time, but usually, unfortunately, in most scenarios, when you look on your report, you see, okay, is this a collection? Oh, it comes from 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Again, if even so many years passed and you still can reach this person or this lender where you borrowed money and paid it, like for example, you did something with your dentist, okay, and you borrowed like something and you paid back and you forgot to pay, let's say, $100, and you change dentist, you move to another city and you forgot about it. This dentist put a collection or ask collector to took this $100 from you. So it maybe sounds funny, just $100, but still you need to deal with this. Now it's on your credit report. This is what hurts your score. If you can give a call to this doctor and settle everything with him, perfect. So settle this with him, pay him what you need to pay, get receipt from him, send this receipt to a collector and say, here, I paid, remove it. So, and they should stop collection. Very important at this point. They may even stop collection, but it's still on your in the credit bureau. So after you paid, what you need to do, you need to call Equifax, you need to call TransUnion and ask them remove it from your history. Prove them again you have receipt, you can prove that you paid this collection, and so they will remove it from your history. It may still stay in your history another 6-7 years, but you don't really have too many options here. After you paid this, usually after the year, your score will go up and it will grow like relatively fast. I will say after 2 years, after you paid your collections, it will be really, really improved, and it will be improved good. Okay? So, how to deal with debt collection agencies when you can't reach the person like doctor, or you can't reach the lender, or you reached, like for example, you call this doctor, or you reach the person who lent you money, or you reach the company that lended you money, and they said, sorry, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, we don't have these records. We send this to collectors, we don't have these records, so you don't have a choice. Please don't pay them, you should deal with the collector. You don't have a choice. Now, you have two options how to deal with the collector. You can negotiate amount, or you can pay all amount in full. What's the difference? If you pay all amount in full, it's better for you, especially if you apply for mortgages. It shows just that you have a goodwill, that shows you that you have a good intention. So even if it stay in your history like for 6-7 years, it still will show, oh, this person paid collection and paid in full, so it's a good sign. If it was settled, so you discussed and unfortunately you were not able, it was several $1,000s, you were not able to pay everything in full, you pay just part of this, it goes through all this collection agency and it was finalized and you paid just part of this amount. In this scenario, it will show in your report that it was not fully paid, but it was paid, but it was paid through settlement. It means that you never paid the full amount. So it's still good that you paid, but it's not good as if you pull a full amount. Okay, so let's go step by step how you should deal with a collection agency. Okay, I just take a second look, maybe somebody send me a question. No, we are good. So I go forward again. If you something not clear, ask me questions right away. I will stop at the end of the webinar to answer all your questions. If you're not sure and you want to ask me in person later, don't worry, give me a call, send me an email. If you want to type this question under the video on YouTube, ask this in question You can, in the comment section, you can leave your comments and ask questions. I will be more than happy to answer. Okay, so let's look slowly, step by step, how I deal with collection actions. So I'm definitely need, so if I get a call from them, or I found from my credit bureau, like from credit report from TransUnion or Equifax, that I have a collection, first of all, I need to call the collection agency and clarify. What I need to clarify? First of all, name of collection agency, physical address of collection agency. Don't worry about all this. It video recorded. You will be able to write it down and later. So please just be focused with me, and you will be able to review this video again and again and again. So yeah, just focus. Okay, so first, name and address of collection agency, name and phone number of collection agent, the person that you speak to, name of credit grantor. Credit grantor is who originally give you money. For example, if in case of the doctor is your credit grantor. In case if you never paid some credit card balance, it will be a company that gave you a credit card. Like, let's say it was Capital One, so credit grantor will be Capital One. Okay, so credit grantor, it's who provided you as some kind of financial services, or you considered that you need to owing money to this person or to this company. Okay, so you need to know the name of this company, original date. So when this, like if it was a doctor, what is the original date? When you visit a doctor, the date that you initially need to pay this amount. In case of credit card, what was the statement date of this credit card? In case of some kind of loan, what's the date you opened this loan? Now, you need another date. Date the debt is transferred from the creditor grantor. So creditor grantor sent this to collector. Okay, you need to know the date when it was sent to collector. Usually it's not immediately, it's like months or even years after you never paid what you were supposed to pay. Okay, so you should have this date as well. You should get a collection reference number or creditor grantor account number and amount of collection, what amount you should pay. Okay, and you will need to decide, or you pay all amount, or you're going to discuss with them and speak about lower amount. Now, next step, you finish conversation with a collector, you need to try to contact credit grantor. So in the example of the doctor, it will be doctor. In the example of credit card, it will be credit card company. You call them and you verify that you deal with the right collection agency. You verify that they send this to this collector, not to another collector. In some scenario, it's too complicated. One grantor sends this collection to several collection agencies. So you need to be careful with this, and you need to know with what collection agency you're actually working. And if you're working don't work with 2, 3, 4. You need to focus just on one of these collection agencies. And please don't work with 2 or 3. Some people say, oh, I will speak to one collection agency, speak to another one, and I will see where I prefer. No, just start to work with one collection agency and complete all this with one collection agency. And when you will have proof that you close the deal, you need to send proof this to all others collectors. So it's very important, call and verify with your original credit grantor who is the collection agencies. Next, if you know, but only if you know and you really know and you like it's a true, okay, you're not trying to to avoid to pay, like you know that it's true, it's not your collection, it's a wrong collection. You need to open credit dispute. You open this dispute not with the collection agency, with creditor grantor. For example, you borrowed money from credit company and you look, but it's not amount that you borrowed, and it's totally different credit card number, and it's not like everything very similar. For example, I will take example Capital One. Okay, you got a Capital One card, you used it many years ago, you forgot about it, you believe that everything was fine, now you got collection and you thinking, oh, maybe it's my collection. You should double check, maybe it's the credit card that was issued with the person with a similar name or with a similar address, and it's not actually your collection. So, and if you're sure that it's not your collection, you need to contact in credit grantor. In this case, it's Capital One credit card, and ask cancel a collection. Only them can cancel this collection. It may be long process. You need to send some proof that it's not your card, this is your name, it's some mess up with address or whatever. You need to fight with credit and guarantor and ask them send to collection agency to report saying, oh, sorry, we are canceling, it's wrong person. Next step, if you pay to credit grantor, as I provided example before, you paid for creditor grantor the amount you was owing, so just send proof to the collection agency, okay, not original copy, and you will be fine. Now, how pay to collection agency? Let's say you decided to pay collection agency full amount or some amounts that you decided to pay. Again, it's not your decision. You should speak to collector and you guys should decide that this amount you pay. For example, collection was for $1,000 and after discussion they decided that they okay that you will pay just $300 from this $1,000. After you negotiate amount, you say them, please send me paper statement in the mail. Again, I repeat, paper statement in the mail, not email, not some kind of transfer or whatever. Paper statement in the mail, and it should say that negotiate amount, full and final payment. When you got this letter, you should check everything. Remember, I asked that you need to check all this like account number, reference number, amount, how to make payment, everything. So all this, you need to check that it's you, that it's your address, that it's your number, that it's this collection. You check everything. And at the end of the letter, it should say full and final payment. And amount that you discussed, $300. Okay? Make sure it's there, because sometimes I saw cases when it says not full and final payment, it just says $300. So what happens in this scenario? Your collector wants to take just first payment, $300, and they will send you later for $700 or for another $300 or another $500. And you can say, oh, we discussed everything on the phone. They don't care. They want your money. So what you need to do, you need to make sure. And if you see in the letter it's not say full and final payment, give them a call and say, okay, I got payment sent in the mail, but it doesn't say full and final payment. So please send me what we discussed. Okay? Make 2 hard copies of this letter just in case, and pay the collection at your bank in person. Not by e-transfer, not by any electronic. I understand we have a COVID-19 is around. It's maybe difficult to go to the bank. Unfortunately, it's the best way to deal with these collection agencies. You go in person whenever it's possible, pay your collection at bank, and they should give you a stamp. Okay, it should be stamped. And teller, when it stamp your letter, they also provide you receipt. So on your letter where you paid $300, it will be stamped, and also receipt for $300 it paid. So you have two documents. You should keep this document for 10 years. A reason why? Because unfortunately, as I said before, what can happen? It will be not one collection agency that will look for this debt. Because your original source or original person or company who you worked with you sends this to several collection agencies, or even one collection agency sells this to another collection agency or others collection agency. So this debt can be different places in different even provinces, and so this debt can come back even years after. And only one way to prove it shows these two documents. I already paid this collection, sorry, you should remove this. And next step, update your credit report with TransUnion and Equifax. People say, oh, but I paid collection. Collector put report, my score went down, so they should call and bring my score up. No, they shouldn't do anything. They're not obligated, not by law, not by anything. They got the money, this is what they care. They care about money. So when they finish collection and they got money, they're done. They will never call to any bureau. You can ask them, please do this. They may even over the phone say, oh, we definitely do this, but they may never do this. So you should obligated. Go on the website of Credit TransUnion, go on the website of Equifax, fill out that you completed this collection. Here's the documents. Attach PDF copies or send this by email. It depends what they will request, and close this. Yeah, it may take several months until they will update your report. In your report, it will be say if you will pay full amount, it will say it will be appear collection, and it will say it paid in full, or it will say that it was some kind of settlement on partial amount. This is what will appear on your credit report, and it will stay there something like 6 or 7 years. Sometimes people say, oh, if it stays there only 6-7 years, I can just quietly wait these 6-7 years. It will go away from my report and I will be fine. You know what? It may happen, but all these 6 or 7 years, you should not apply for any loans, for any mortgages, and just wait 6-7 years, and only after this try to work on your credit score or something like this. Realistically, it's almost never happen. So it's not something that I believe will work, but I heard about the cases when people was just quietly wait 6-7 years until bad collection was on the report and it disappeared by itself, and they never paid collection. Okay, but 6-7 years never apply for loan, never apply for mortgage. I don't know if it worth it. Okay, so it's the time for questions, and that if you have any questions, I will wait just several minutes for any questions. Maybe somebody still typing or wants to ask. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I can understand some questions that related to credit scores can be very confidential, and especially about the debts can be very confidential. So you can call me in person and we can meet in person if it's necessary. If you live in different province, I'm working across all of Canada, so I live in Manitoba, but if you live, let's say, in Ontario, you can give me a call from Ontario or from British Columbia, from Saskatchewan, from any province or territories. You can give me a call and I will be more than happy to help you. or you can email me and I will be happy to reply. If you think that your question is like kind of general, you can comment your question in the comments section under this video and I will be happy to answer. Okay, I don't see any live chat questions, so I won't just say thank you very much and have a wonderful evening and bye bye. See you in next webinar.